Hi, live from Studio 6B, Real America's Voice, Dish Network, Channel 219, Pluto TV, Channel 240, Samsung TV Plus, 1175. You can also watch the show on Roku TV, Apple TV, the Amazon Fire Stick, and of course, 106 on Select TV, as well as following us on all of the socials, which includes Rumble, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter X, Kick, Getter, and LFS6B Show on Instagram, so make sure you do that. And then, of course, live from Studio6B.com, the home for all the merch, all the stuff, all the links you need for live from Studio 6B. Welcome to a Thursday night. Damon is at the America First Warehouse, as a matter of fact. He's there's major changes afoot, gentlemen, to make sure that the Friday night shows that start live with real people watching us, being close enough to touch us and yell at us and heckle us, those go off without a hitch. Nice. Lots of changes going on, new stage, from what I hear. So he's there making sure that everything is up and running.
He left with the vacuum cleaner.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he's like an exterminator. He's working the bugs out.
Yep. So he'll be making sure that is ready to go. So I guess tomorrow we might be doing the show from the new stage, which will be interesting and fun. So that'll be cool.
That'll be awesome.
So he's just making sure that like Vince said, those bugs get worked out.
He had a spackle knife. He had the vacuum. I think he's ready. He's getting his hands dirty. That's what's happening.
He looked like Alice from the Brady Bunch. He's ready to go
without the hairnet.
He had his little apron on, and he's huddling over there. I think he actually has like white sneakers on too to make sure.
It's a good look.
I don't think he had white sneakers on.
Oh, white.
Yes, exactly. Let's go around the room. Slick Rick is here with Sports Slickness. How are you?
I'm doing good, Rick. How are you tonight?
I am well. You're going all paisley.
Yes, sir.
Very nice. Very nice.
Rocking it.
I'm surprised you didn't. I'm very surprised you did not dress to match your new gift.
Oh, well, I got a few outfits that'll match that. But I'll save that for the warehouse. I'll bring the print style with me.
All right, very good.
Nice.
So that'll be. We'll be doing some sports with Slick Rick in just a little bit. Kevin Downey Jr., KDJ, is here as well. How are you, my radio friend?
I'm good, thank you, Rick. I got to tell you guys, I was on air today, and I was talking about how we're going to be going live on May 2nd, and everyone can come down to the America First Warehouse. And I said I've got a comedy thing I'm taping, and then the phone rings. And then they hang up, and my producer goes, hey, she didn't want to talk to you, but she said she wants to know if there's going to be any Nazis at the America First Warehouse when you're there doing your thing with the comedy. And she really happened. So I went on air and I said, no, ma'am, they will not be there. They will be at Columbia beating up Jews. That's what you people do. And I gave her a little clown slap around a little bit, but that's what we're up against.
A shout out to all Nazis, huh?
Yeah,
there we go.
Yeah, in case you're thinking about coming down to the warehouse, Kevin will be there ready to smack you. Verbally, of course.
And I promise anyone who comes down, you can drive your Tesla. No one's going to wipe their commie butt on it. I promise you.
Exactly.
They have the place for that.
Hey, if people want to find out more about you, Kevin, where they can catch your radio show, check out your comedy and all that stuff, where can they go?
Oh, thank you, sir. So, folks, you can listen to my radio show around the planet, any place with Wi-Fi. Just go to the website, that's for Long Island, linewsradio.com. And I'll be there 9 to 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And you can also find me on Twitter at KDJ Radio Show. And all my shows and whatnot will be there. So that's probably the best place now. Still working on that website.
All right, very good. So Kevin Downey Jr. is sitting in for tonight. And, of course, Vin Buta is here. Vincent?
Yes.
Can I call you Vincent?
You can.
Yeah, of course.
Because I just did. How are you?
I'm good. Had a great day. My dog walked me, which was really nice. He's very cooperative at that. He's a huge dog, so it's quite an event taking him for a walk. Because everyone that passes us in the car stops and has something to say.
Why? Because you're being dragged by your dog?
He's huge. He looks like a bear. He escaped one time, ran through the woods, and jumped into a neighbor who's having a picnic, and she thought it was a brown bear. She screamed. I haven't heard a scream like that in my entire life.
Since the day before.
So he's got quite the reputation in town.
Awesome.
So I had a very mellow day.
And what's his name?
His name is Winston.
Winston.
He's in Newfoundland.
Oh, you know what? I love that name.
Yeah.
That's a nice name.
That was going to be the next dog's name.
Yeah?
Believe it or not,
Really?
yeah. I was on a Winston quest for a while, but
wow,
that's a smoking name.
Huh?
Yeah, it's a smoking name.
Yeah, it was. You know what? What's very fun. Actually, ironic about that is that I've talked to you about my boxer Harrison Ford, the boxer. That was his original name.
Winston.
When he was sent to us, when he arrived via the Easter Bunny 15 years ago, no, 13 years ago, his name was Winston.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Little fun fact there. There you go. Fun facts. That's what we're all about. Let's get to some of the headline. Man, a lot has been going on in the last 24 hours. And, I guess the biggest story of the day has to be the Florida State shooting. I don't know if you guys saw anything about that.
Yes.
Of course.
Terrible.
Yeah, terrible situation down in Florida. Florida State University, of course. Here's what we know so far. This is coming from CNN. 2 killed, 5 injured in mass shooting at Florida State University. The deadly shooting where 2 people who were not students were killed and 5 others wounded in the shooting today at Florida State University in Tallahassee, according to local police. Officers shot the suspected gunman, who is now hospitalized. So there you go. He's alive. Authorities identified the suspect as a 20-year-old FSU student.
This is a troubled guy, man.
This is a troubled guy and the son of a local sheriff's deputy.
Yes, I heard that.
Which is another tragic thing that's attached to the story. They found that the handgun that was used was his mother's service weapon. As they took him into custody, a shotgun was found in the school's student union as well, and another gun in the suspect's car, according to law enforcement. So those are the quick details of the story. Here is the press conference from the police, cut number 1, from earlier today. Naming the shooter and identifying, of course, what I just read there. That he's a son of one of the sheriff's deputies. Here's cut number 1. Check this out.
And we understand that you all have been devastated because of this person's actions. The question as it relates to who is the shooter is 20-year-old Phoenix Eichner. And he's the son of a Leon County Sheriff deputy. Our Deputy Eichner, has been with the Leon County Sheriff's Office for over 18 years. She has a tremendous job that she's done. Her service to this community has been exceptional. Unfortunately, her son had access to one of her weapons, and that was one of the weapons that was found at the scene. And we are continuing that investigation into how that weapon was used and what other weapons perhaps he may have had access to.
Yeah, so there you have it, the press conference naming the suspect, talking about his relation to the sheriff's deputy there. Dr. Brett Howard, the surgeon at Tallahassee Memorial Care, said surgeries he did on the patients that came in after the Florida State University shooting were all very successful, he said. We were able to proceed to the operating room in a very systematic fashion. No real concerns, honestly, throughout the procedures. So we're very thankful that all went down without any issues. So it sounds like the others that were injured, the 5 that were injured, luckily will be, going home as soon as they recover from their injuries. Just another example of things that, you just can't control. You don't know what sets some of these people off. And how you handle it, really, because a lot of times people freak out. They don't know they don't know how to handle things. So I'm interested to see a little more of the coverage as this kind of unfolds, because you'll get a hint from the students, from the people at the university on how they handle, an active shooter situation. From what I understand, they put out a message that they were on lockdown because of the active shooter. But I'm sure we'll be hearing stories, probably of some courageous things that happen, people stepping in and helping out others, maybe some that were shot, as this thing unfolded.
The police got there so quick, didn't they?
Yeah.
I mean, that's the one thing they said, that someone called it in, and then within a matter of minutes, they were in there, and they took him, didn't take him down, but they did shoot him.
Well, they took him down.
They didn't kill him. They shoot him.
Now, is there a motive? Now, we do know he's a leftist. That part is out. But do we have a motive for why he would start shooting people?
No.
Or did he pick these people?
Not from what I've read so far. Nothing in terms of motive. for these people that were shot. Again, the 2 people that were killed were not students. So it's not like he was going after students.
And did anyone hear that
like it.
some of the students from the Parkland shooting were at Florida State? I heard something to that effect.
I heard
Did you
that
hear
too.
that?
Yep.
I don't know if that was confirmed, but some of the students there that were from the Parkland shooting are now Florida State University students.
Right. Yeah,
Wow.
It could be. It could be. So, yeah, that's the. I guess that's the big story. Breaking today in Florida again, the shooting at Florida State University, where 2 people were killed, 5 others were injured. It's and again, it kind of makes you think, like, what would you do in that situation, right? Because a lot of times, everybody talks a good game. Everybody's like, oh, I would do this and I would do that. I'm sorry, but when you're in the line of fire and you've never had to deal with that before, I'm sure things would probably, kind of play out a little differently. I mean, we had a situation at where I work where the fire alarm went off and nobody knew what to do.
Ugh.
And it was dumbfounding to some of the people that worked there. Like, wait, we don't have a system. We don't have a process. I'm sure, of course, they do it at schools because, they've had to deal with this. They've seen it happen at other universities and high schools and such around the country. But it always kind of puts things into perspective if you find yourself in that situation, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he apparently he pulled up in his car, he got out and just shot the first person he saw, and then kept doing it. There's only so much you could do. But we had gotten reports, and I think we should talk about this. We would talk a little bit about this off the air, but I think we should talk about this. There are reports that he was a big Trump hater, and that there's some smoke with that fire.
Right.
I don't want to jump to conclusions and say he did this because he hates Trump. But I will say the bigger issue here is the anger and the depth of the anger that we're seeing now amongst folks from the left.
Right.
And
they embrace violence.
The acting out of that anger. We've seen it with Tesla, firebombing, dealerships, burning down cars. People just average everyday people keying cars and painting Nazi symbols on their cars. To something like this, which I'm personally willing to take a little more of a leap and say this had something to do with that anger. But we're seeing that anger,
right?
And that anger is not only contagious. That anger is years and years, in my view. A little radical view here, but in my view, years and years of purposeful leftist behavior.
100%. 100%.
Almost like training.
Yeah, almost like training. And look, it's been a bad week. We had that really skeezy-looking guy in Pennsylvania try to burn out the Shapiro family in the governor's mansion. Another guy in Butler, PA, wants to kill Trump. What are the odds? 2 guys from Butler, PA, 13,500 people. I have the answer right after this.
All right, very good. We'll take a quick break. That's a nice radio tease. That's Kevin showing off the radio stylings.
Right after these words.
All right, we'll take a quick break. When we come back, we'll do some sports with Slick Rick. We've got news with Kevin Downey Jr. and with Vin Buddha as well. And, of course, with you guys. We'll see you in the chat. Chat. Join us in the chat as well. Live from Studio 6B, Real America's Voice. Stay there.
Boy, good to see all my friends there on Facebook out there. And those of you asking about the dog, you see my pictures on Facebook. I'm not shy about posting Winston's modeling shots. I hope I can get Winston some modeling gigs. It'd be a nice income.
Nice.
Right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, he could be a dog model. I'll be his manager.
That's it.
Yeah. I think that's a great career.
Sure.
Yeah.
How old is he?
I'm qualified to do that, I want you to know. He's 2 years old.
Oh, perfect.
2 years old.
Nice and young. Ready to go.
Eats about 12 pounds of food a day.
So you'll be forced.
It's good. It is an expensive pet, I have to say. Get someone to watch this dog. It's like $100 a day. Someone to walk him. You got to be big.
Yeah, you got to be a bodybuilder.
He will take you down. He took me down. I broke a pinky and twisted my ankle.
Oh boy,
I felt like such a loser.
We have a $5 rant on Rumble from
Already?
Kicking Snow. Tell KDJ I want a live free, stay free t-shirt.
Do you have a Do you have those T-shirts there?
No, I'm ordering them.
Oh, you are?
Yeah.
Oh, so this guy wants one.
Oh, cool.
He just gave a $5 rant for it.
Oh, thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Whoa, and we got on YouTube, we got the chat there. We got Jesus Perez's birthday today. Les Durham gave us a $5 super chat. Chats, wish happy birthday to Jesus Perez, who's always in our chat. Fantastic chatter there.
Happy
Jesus
birthday.
Perez. Happy birthday to you, brother.
Jesus Perez.
Jesus Perez. Good man. He's always a great energy in the chat. Probably out having drinks and dinner now, but it's good for him if he is.
Howdy there, Rumblers. It's the Rumble chat. Rumble. Herber. Susie Platinum says, KDJ, hey, hope you're having a very good day.
Oh, thank you very much. I am having a good day.
All the girlies are rolling up on KDJ.
Oh, it must be the new cologne that they can smell through the television.
It's got to be the haircut.
What is that, Stink Badger?
Stink Badger cologne. What a great name.
It really is. 160% of the time.
Stink
it works
Badger.
every time.
Brings out the beast in you.
Oh, perfect.
Yes. Wow, Winston's getting quite a following over here. Very impressive.
Oh, there
I'm definitely going to take him on tour.
Take him.
Live from Studio 6B, Real America's Voice on a Thursday night. Welcome to the program. If you missed the opening, Damon is at the America First Warehouse, making sure tomorrow night's show goes off without a hitch. Brand new stage, brand new look. You'll be able to check it out for the first time yourselves and for us as well. We'll see it for the first time.
Oh, the center stage. Yeah.
Because we heard about it.
We did.
And Martin over there built the stage.
Yep.
Incredible, how quickly that they're able to do stuff over there. Mm-hmm. And now we're going to be able to see, hopefully, we'll see it unveiled for tomorrow night's show. So
I like the chairs. I like those chairs. They were very comfortable.
Nice he brought some armor all there today to put on the chairs.
Oh, man. Talk about slick.
Yeah,
nice.
It's going to be nice.
Slip right off of it. All right, let's do some sports with Slick Rick Sports, brought to you by Mike Lindell's MyPillow. Go to MyPillow.com. Use our code LFS6B at checkout. Save yourself a lot of money on some great stuff, especially in time for Easter. You still have time.
That's right. Come on.
LFS6B at checkout. Mike Lindell's MyPillow.com. Slick.
Well, today's Holy Thursday, right? Today's Holy Thursday. Right?
Holy Thursday. I can't believe I forgot.
World. Yes, we'll get to that a little bit later.
All right.
But Major League Baseball was very disingenuous last night by dismissing the scores, but I was a little tight on time, and I said, we'll skip the scores. It's early. Oh, I got a lot of heat now. So I apologize to all our America's favorite pastime fans, and I'm going to go right to baseball scores first before I do anything else tonight, with all due respect to the Major League Baseball fans. Here we go. Orioles 6-2 over the Guardians, top of the seventh inning. Top six, we have the Tigers blanking the Royals 4-0 in Detroit. Looking good, Kevin. And the Rays over the Yankees 3-1, top of the fourth. But Rick, don't worry, it's early down in Tampa. We know the Yankees sluggers will get up there and make that a run. The Mets winning right now in Citi Field. I did say City. Over the Cardinals 4-1, top of the fourth there. We have the Angels blanking the Rangers 1-0, middle of the first. And these are all finals from earlier today, including my Reds losing, unfortunately. Diamondbacks 6-4 over the Marlins. The Pirates defeated the Nationals 1-0. The Mariners beat the Reds 11-7 in 10 innings. So Athletics blanked the White Sox 8-0 in Chicago, and Phillies over the Giants 6-4. To the NHL we go. Final night of the season, and thank goodness, because the Islander fans can breathe a sigh of relief. Get the golf clubs ready, Vin. It's over. It's been over actually for a few days. But Sabres 4-1 over the Flyers, 12 to go there in the second. Also midway through the second, the Red Wings over the Maple Leafs 3-1. Kevin, you're having a good night tonight. Hurricanes 5-3 over the Senators, 11 to go there in the second. 8 to go in the second period. The Rangers blanking the Lightning 1-0. Rangers also getting ready for a golf tournament. We got the Penguins 2-1 over the Capitals, 12 to go there in the second. Capitals, of course, will be in the playoffs. Probably just mailing this one in. The Islanders getting blanked by the Blue Jackets 3-0 in Columbus, 9 to go there in the second as well. Flames take on the Kings. That's a 9:30 p.m. puck drop tonight. We got another play-in tonight, East for the 8th seed, Rick. Win or go home here. The Hawks and the Heat. That game just getting underway. today. I'll get an update on the score on that, and that'll be actually tomorrow night. Check that. That's 7 p.m. tomorrow night, that game. And then also the Mavericks are taking on the Grizzlies, that game in Minnesota. That'll be at 9:30 tomorrow night. So those should be some good games. Last night was a blowout. How Dallas, man, they just completely blew out Sacramento. I couldn't believe that. That was the nightcap last night.
Now, I'm surprised Dallas has to play again.
Yeah, Dallas has to play. You have to win for the 8th seed. That's what it is. Yeah. So whoever played last night, they got eliminated. They had to go to this is like the final for the 8th seed.
Okay, for
tomorrow
the
night.
For the 8th.
One game,
okay.
one off, Rick.
Gotcha.
So that's going to be a big one there. All right, let me get to a couple of scores, and a couple of stories here, real quick. Very sad story, actually, in the sports world. I want to report on this. 3 dead in tragic boating accident at major fishing league tournament. Paul Boyer, Breitbart. 3 people have been pronounced dead following a tragic boating accident at the Major League Fishing tournament on Wednesday. The incident occurred at Smith Lake on Wednesday morning in a multi-boat crash, killing 3 people. Major League Fishing confirms that a serious boating accident occurred this morning on Lewis Smith Lake during day 2 of the Tackle Warehouse Invitational, the MLF said in a statement. The incident involved one of the event's competing anglers, Flint Davis of Leesburg, Georgia. Emergency personnel and authorities responded immediately and remain on scene managing the situation at the time. According to WBMA, the Alabama Law Enforcement Agency said that 58-year-old Joey M. Broom was fatally injured when the center console vessel he was on board was struck by a nitro bass boat. Broom was pronounced dead at the scene. The town of Sneed in Blount County lists him as one of 5 town council members on its website. 44-year-old John K. Clark of Cullum and Mississippi man 62-year-old Jeffrey C. Little were also both on board the center console vessel. Aaliyah said the 2 were thrown overboard during the incident and drowned. Their bodies were recovered later. The Cullman County Tourism Bureau said the incident has deeply impacted our entire community. Smith Lake is a cherished destination for both locals and visitors, and this incident was deeply impacted our entire community. We are grateful for the swift and dedicated response of our emergency personnel. We remain committed to supporting our community however we can. So, sad story in the fishing world yesterday. Real tragedy. So, just wanted to report on that as per Breitbart. And that's a wrap in Sports Pick. Back to you, Rick.
All right, very good. And again, Slick Rick Sports brought to you by Mike Lindell's MyPillow. Go to mypillow.com, use our code at checkout, and save yourself a ton of money. Let's kick it over to radio man, comic extraordinaire, and penmanship king for PJmedia.com. Kevin Downey Jr., how are you?
I'm good, thank you, sir. I'm good. We were talking about, actually have a new piece up about what's making these people so crazy lately. We know why they're crazy, but why this week? And why is it built to this? Remember, they were just wiping snot on Teslas before. And if you look at who's doing that, those are a bunch of seniors. I've got a picture where everyone's over 70, and they all just came out to do it. But this week, this guy in Butler, he was insane. He's just insane, and he's calling, we got to kill Trump and everyone else. And I thought, what are the odds that there are 2 people from Butler, PA, tiny town, who wanted to kill the president? Well, I asked Grok, and the answer is 1 in 27.5 billion. Now, that tells me there might be something else going on. MK Ultra. We can talk about that later. Anyway, a big week for violent lefties. Horrible week. And I want to know what you guys think. I think this country is going to explode sometime through the summer.
Yeah. I hope not.
I hope it doesn't. But
I'm feeling the same way in many ways, because what we talked about before, this has been just like the judges, just like the narrative we're seeing. This is 15 years in the making, if not more. But I think a hardcore 15 years of anger, of angst, of setting the playing field so that the left always wins. And if they don't win, they destroy. Right. And part of their destruction is, they think, motivating their base. You know, that's the irony of all this, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I agree with you 1,000%. If you, folks, this is communism. Remember, Yuri Bezmenov, the Soviet defector, told us there's a demoralization, destabilization, and what comes after that? Crisis. And the crisis is violent. And that's what we're in now. We're just coming out of destabilization. Well, this is actually destabilization, but we're really close to crisis, and that's going to be bad. Remember what they did 5 years ago? They're burning our big blue toilet towns because they were allowed to. And now, I don't know if that's going to happen this time. I don't know. Maybe it will. I don't know who's in charge of Seattle. Maybe they'll have another Summer of Love where a bunch of cops get hurt. I don't know. But it all came down this week. And like you said, it's contagious. Once one does it, and we're also seeing a lot of people not going to jail. We're seeing people doing horrible things and getting let out of jail. the stabbing thing in Texas. There's a rapist who raped 2 young girls. He got his bail lowered, and now, of course, the communists got to keep their thugs on the streets. So that's where the bail fund people come in. Remember, Kamala was pimping that.
Yeah,
they're still out there. They're still letting animals out of jail.
And you know what? One thing you can't let go of this as well is who's stoking this fire. It all comes from the mainstream media.
Yep.
You think about the I wanted to say something I didn't say. It's good. Her name is Taylor Lorenz. The way she was fawning over the killer of the pharmaceutical guy.
I watched her try and explain that, by the way. She tried to explain herself.
They always try to explain themselves. They try to make it seem
poorly.
It's like when you remember the Boston bombing at the Boston Marathon, where they put that kid on the Rolling Stone magazine cover, and women were swooning. Oh my goodness, we have to get him out. It's all driven by this media narrative that, you know what, if it's coming from the left, like Kevin said, it's okay. We're allowed because we need our spaces for anger to express ourselves. Well, you know what, the other side is bigger, stronger. And you don't want them to express themselves because you're going to find yourself in a problem if you're on the left. Yeah. People will push back. They will not let themselves be pushed around.
Yeah, I love it's the blue-haired sea cows who want to take on the guys with guns.
Right.
Okay, have fun.
They're also the ones that say, I'm going to abstain from sex forever. I don't think you had a choice, honey.
Yeah.
Anyhow. All right, we'll take a quick break. We come back. We'll do some more news live from Studio 6B. Real America's Voice. Stay there. Chat, live in the chat.
Hold on, chat, YouTube chat. Mr. AZ Mikey sent us $5, and here's his message from the YouTube chat. Love you, chat. Slick better read this one or we riot. KDJ, keep boozed. Delgado, stay informed. And Vin, just be you, bub. Slick, you might be my favorite.
Bub.
And that was it. Mr. AZ Mikey, I think I missed his chat last night, too.
I was going to do some impersonations, but I guess I'll stick with this.
Yeah, just
what you got here.
You be you, bub.
Just that.
I did not know that.
I didn't know AZ Mikey was was Wolverine. Bub.
Manny, Mo, and Jack.
Hey, bub. You just keep informed. Kevin,
like
you keep the bourbon flowing.
Keep the bourbon flowing.
Exactly. Hey, let's see what else is going on in the chat.
Drag Black has sent us $5. Since Damon is not here, that leaves Vinny as the most grounded man on the panel. He just needs more of Damon's tropical depression. There you go. Hey, go Drag Black. I got you in, brother.
I say this to all my Facebook friends. I'm grounded. I can't leave the house.
That's it.
Yeah. All right. There's some people out there that are friends of mine that think I'm absolutely out of my mind. Of course, they're hardcore left-wingers. Their hair's on fire for the most part.
You know, I would love to have them sit in the audience. Once.
I would give it. You know, the trip that I was uninvited to. Remember we talked about that?
Yep.
That just happened. They were all in Mexico. I'm looking at all the pictures of them having a great time, friends for 40 years. And because I don't agree with them.
Oh, yeah.
If I changed my opinion, I would have been invited still. I was invited, then uninvited because of my views about Trump, which is unbelievable to think. But so they just had this, trip. And I'm looking at the pictures, and I'm just shaking my head like, I still can't believe that entire situation happened.
I just went through something very similar with very good friends of mine for years. Same type of situation. And all of a sudden, I contributed so much to this group. All of a sudden, I was called into question. That was over the Zelensky thing with the suit that went viral. Yeah, with Brian. Oh, man.
That's ridiculous.
Tell me about it.
Todd Stoltz.
The main guy said that doesn't fly. We're keeping slick.
Todd Stoltz with a $10 rant in the Rumble chat. Montezuma's revenge is real, he says. I did the Nadler walk earlier today. Sorry to hear about that, Todd.
Information that would have been helpful yesterday.
I hope you had some
Talk about Schitt's Creek.
Wet naps with you.
I could see that. We're on commercial.
Yes. Oh, my. Put the toilet paper in the freezer. I had a friend that actually did that. He goes, yeah, I put the toilet paper in the freezer. What?
Live from Studio 6B, Real America's Voice on a Thursday night. Welcome to the program. Kevin Downey Jr. is here. He's got more news. We'll do that in just a few minutes. Vin Buda's here. We're going to do some with him as well. And, of course, Slick Rick Sports. He's got another update coming up before the top of the hour. I don't know if you guys caught this. You might have, because it was a big day of news everywhere. Lots of different things happening, from the tragedy down at Florida State University to what was going on in Washington, D.C. at the White House as President Trump welcomed Italy's prime minister, the lovely, the talented, and very conservative Giorgia Meloni. Here she is, cut number 12. No, is it cut number 12? No, it's cut number 11. Here is Donald Trump, President Donald Trump, heading out to the, I guess, to the entrance where they welcomed the heads of state, and he went out to meet Georgia himself as she defies the EU and arrives in the U.S. to make a deal. Here's cut number 11. Check this out. There she is, exiting her vehicle.
How confident are you, sir, you can make a trading deal with the EU? You're president of Italy, sir. You're president of Italy.
Great person.
Yeah, he was probably telling her, this is where I kicked that little schmuck Zelensky out the door. Remember that a couple weeks ago?
Sue yourself.
She's tough as nails, though. She's a really popular leader.
Yeah.
She's articulate. She's definitely going to help Italy. I've been to Italy many times. I'm Italian. I've traced my roots. I've done all that. And that country has been so dysfunctional for so many decades in terms of its economy and all that. It's still the most beautiful place in the
Best
world.
food.
With the greatest food, beautiful people.
Wine.
Yeah.
But they
Wine.
finally have a leader.
Yeah.
That now can take them into prosperity, and that's what the country's been wanting for decades.
Yeah,
decades.
here she is in cut number 2. Here she is saying she wants to, what she wants to do to Italy. And check it out for yourself. Here's cut number 2, Italy's Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni at the White House.
The goal for me is to make the West great again. Okay, and I think we can do it together.
We can.
We will keep on work on that. I'm going to close. I want to say only, I'm proud of sitting here as Prime Minister of an Italy that today has a very good situation despite the difficulties. A stable country, reliable country. 1 million more jobs in the last 2 years and a half.
Great.
Yeah, so there she is.
Very grateful lady.
That's amazing.
Extolling the virtues of Italy and the path they're on, which is good.
Yep.
And also, here's the last.
Why can't they all be like that?
Yeah, exactly. You would think.
And she's hot.
Nice looking young lady, yeah.
That I
10
did
would
not
do
know.
it again.
Well, she wants to make the West great again, and that includes Italy.
You are correct.
Here she is, cut number 10, as she basically takes down a reporter. Cut number 10, Giorgia Meloni. Check it out.
The retaliatory tariffs that the European Commission passed and then suspended, are they still on the table if you cannot make a deal with President Trump?
I'm sure we can make a deal, and I'm here to help on that. I cannot deal in the name of the European Union. My goal would be invite President Trump to pay an official visit to Italy and understand if there's a possibility when he comes to organize also such a meeting with Europe. I think the best way is that we simply speak frankly about the needs that every one of us has and find ourselves in the middle. That's useful for all. I really, somebody calls me such a Western nationalism. I don't know if it is the right word, but I'm sure that together we are stronger. And I have to find a way. I'm here to find the best way to make us both stronger on the two shores of the Atlantic.
Ooh.
I like her.
Yes.
I really do.
She nailed it.
The Italian ladies.
She's got hotter.
No, she is. Well,
It's on like chicken parmesan.
Well, let's face it. She's strong. She knows what she wants. She says right up front, "I'm here to make a deal."
Yeah.
You know, there you go. That's what we're looking for from the other leaders around the world, and it helps that she has the same kind of values, and she wants to make Italy the way it used to be.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know, because I know growing up, you used to hear about this, the Perillo tours and
Oh, Mario Perillo.
Yeah, exactly.
Perillo
and
tours.
it all looked
wanted to go.
It all looked so awesome, right? It all looked so awesome, and I remember in the '80s, hearing from my friend, Long Island, a lot of Italians.
How you doing?
But when they had family visit,
How you doing?
they came over here like ecstatic to be in America. Like they had like USA jackets, leather jacket. It was like, oh my goodness, you didn't realize how connected they felt to this country. And I guess because of all the immigrants that came over, there was that back and forth. So you know what? Let's hope that this is the first step.
We got a lot of Italians in Long Island.
Yeah.
Oh my
People
God.
I meet around the country.
It's half the island.
You know Joey Buttafuoco? I'm like, how do you associate all of us with that guy? One point I want to make, though, on what she said. I thought she said something super important, and the EU's got to get around this. And I think this is the basis of all of Trump's strategy, and that is we need, as she had said very well, to unite and be together. We're stronger together. We're stronger with the EU and the United States together. Why? Because we have to isolate and show China that we are united. We've never been really united. Everybody's going to make their own deals. They're throwing tariffs around. They all kowtow to China because they're stroking checks.
Right.
By the way, big checks, not little checks, big checks to leaders. There's corruption all over the place. The Chinese have been playing their hand beautifully. If we don't stick together, this is not going to work. And Trump's entire basis for this is to get everybody to stick together. And I've heard many of his negotiating points are, you want to talk Turkey, number one, you can't talk to China about this.
Yeah.
You can't do that stuff. This is the right strategy.
It's like when you get a divorce. It's like you get your friends and you get your friends, and that you gotta keep. And we can't mix and match because it's not gonna work. These are the rules, and if you're saying that we're gonna get a divorce, well then I'm taking this and my friends, and you can have those friends.
But we have to stick together at the end of the day, like we did after World War II. That's sort of where we're at with China. This is a silent or Cold War right now.
Right.
It's for real. This is not. It's no different than what happened with the Soviets, except we actually trade with them. Whereas the Soviets, we had a Cold War, we didn't do any business with them. In this case, it's worse because they have us.
Yeah.
We have to take this position with the world, and that's where Trump's charm and his personality comes in. And you saw that from this Italian leader and even the leader from the UK and Ireland. Like they seem to have a little bounce in their step with Trump in the room.
Yep. And later on in this tape, I don't know if you saw it, Trump, for some reason goes, oh, by the way, Europe, you got to stop this migration thing.
Yeah.
It's not working.
Right.
He says, I'm not a fan.
And she did say, I remember her saying, they do have a migration. They've cut it down a lot. Because they were getting inundated as well.
Mm-hmm. Italy, Germany, and England got overrun with migration that has not helped any of those countries. No. It's like Minnesota.
Right.
All those folks that went into Minnesota that migrated over voted for Omar, whatever her name is.
Right.
That's how she got elected. They all went to one town, one area, and that's how this moron got elected who hates our country.
Yeah. And the same in UK.
UK?
Look at their leaders. Leaders of all their major cities are all Muslims. They're not your typical cranky looking tooth Englishman or Englishwoman. No. They're all from outside the country. So they've been overrun as well.
Vance made a comment about that and got filleted, and that is about England being overrun by radical Muslims who will use nuclear weapons, do all this stuff. And people were laughing at him. And I saw this on Facebook. People were getting on his case. And I'm like, have you seen the stats?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know how much of that population is now, I'm not saying they're radicals. There are Muslims, though, and they've left their countries and they're doing some radical stuff there. But it's like 14% of the the
Yeah.
That's a huge number.
And they all vote for the same person.
And 50 to 56% of all the gang rapes throughout Western Europe.
Unbelievable. That is so true.
Yeah, amazing. Hey, let's switch gears, kick it over to Vin. Vin, your news brought to us by the Eternal Life Coin, timeless symbol of faith, legacy, and the soul's infinite journey. You can go to EternalLifeCoin.com. That's EternalLifeCoin.com and check it out for yourself. Vin, what do you got for us?
Yeah, thank you. I actually have one of those Eternal Life coins with me. I carry it with me Some people might wear a cross. Some people might have a bracelet with something on it, just to be another support system for their faith. Yeah. I've had this for 15 years.
Wow.
And it's just a beautiful coin. That's all. It's a beautiful coin. And if you're a person of faith and like I am, it's just something that I personally like. So I'm glad we can share it here with the show. I have a couple of points to make here. First off, Elizabeth Warren said something that I figured out is the entire Democratic position on all this immigration stuff. If they can disappear Mr. Abrego Garcia, then they can disappear you. What does that really mean when Pocahontas comes out and says that? And we have heard this on CNN and MSLSD and all these stations about, he was just, deported. They can do that to you.
Right.
The whole "they can do it to you" narrative. What does that really mean? It means that they're trying strategically to force the Trump administration to look at every case one by one. That's really what they're going after. They're making a big stink out of this particular one because of the due process and so on. And I think we all know the reality. He was here illegally. I tell people this all the time. They're like, well, he didn't get this, he didn't get that. He was here illegally.
Yeah. Doesn't matter.
He's a criminal.
Yeah.
And besides all the other stuff, MS-13, all the other things that he's involved in, he's here illegally, and he's a citizen of El Salvador. He's not a citizen of this country. We owe him nothing. But this strategy is what they do. And we were talking about it with lots of other areas, with the judges and everything else they put in place. This is how the left really operates. Their entire motive and way of operating in stopping Trump is to slow him down to a snail's pace at every stop so they can then hopefully gain some traction in the midterms or do what they did, cheat their way to winning the next election, which is what they did with Joe Biden. But it's something that gets overlooked, I think, because people see the fight, which is, they're flying to El Salvador to get this guy out. It's not really that. It's about trying to get this into micro fights so that Trump now has to go for each and every one that he's trying to get, deport, that go through a process like this, which would take 10 years, at best, to get a couple of million out. So
yeah, it's a death by a million cuts.
It's exactly it. And the other thing we're seeing here overall, and you see it with the media, and it's not as bad as the first time Trump was in office, because frankly, they're just a lot smarter, and they got better people, and they're able to fight things, and they're firing people, they're getting rid of deep staters. Having said that, what we're seeing here is really how powerful the left is. They have put a lot of juice into the system.
Yeah.
They've been working the system. We talked about the judges for 15 years. Thank you, George Soros. For 15 years, and others, by the way, they've been putting in progressive, biased judges. That strategy is paying dividends for them right now. They have done so many things, but they all pop up when a guy like Trump becomes president. And now that Trump is president, we're seeing all these little tactics they've put in. And it's overwhelming to me how powerful they've become within all the infrastructures of our systems.
Right.
And
which is why they're the ones screaming bloody murder that Doge has found them out.
That's exactly right. And hopefully, as we talked about this last time I was on the show, people need to get arrested. Pam Bondi, I'm judging you on that, on politicians getting arrested and taken out in handcuffs.
There you go. All right, we'll come back. We'll do some more with Kevin Downey Jr. and with Slick Rick. We'll do a sports report as well, and of course with you guys in the chat. Make sure you jump on, say hello, like eyes of a lady, eyes of a lady in the Rumble chat.
Lady.
And Drake 99. All right, we'll take a quick break. When we come back, more live from Studio 6B. Stay there.
Someone told me to check. Did you get a gift? I don't know.
Oh, well, the chat they might have said. I don't know if you're around long enough to get a gift.
I didn't get a gift.
Someone asked me earlier today on Facebook, did you get anything? Or on Twitter, did you get anything? I said,
I didn't get anything. Someone left some feta cheese on the table here. That might have been something.
Oh, man.
That might have been for you, Kevin.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what?
Yeah, a little feta cheese.
I did.
Toe jam. What? Oh, Delgado's got gifts?
Yeah.
What do you
He's
got?
Gifts? Are they wrapped? Oh, okay.
Did he?
Did I?
We're very simple people here. If we get a little gift, we're like really excited.
That guy gave us loads of gifts. Very nice.
Except I think...
Oh, we got a nice super chat, guys, from Jesus Perez, the birthday boy.
Jesus.
$57. Wow. Must be 50. I imagine he's 57 years old.
Oh, thank you.
A heartfelt thank
It's a
you to
beaver.
everyone watching, wishing you all
Oh,
the vibrant
Buc-ee's.
health. I'm reading a nice super chat here now
sorry.
from a nice gentleman whose birthday today there, Kevin. Now, take it easy.
Let's all behave.
A heartfelt thank you to everyone watching, wishing you all vibrant health and abundant prosperity. Thank you, Damon, Slick, Rick Delgado, Papa Nolan, Kevin, Vinny, Fran, and Aaron for bringing all of us together to be a part of your family with LFS 6B. So, Jesus Perez, thank you very much for the
Jesus.
super chat. Great birthday, and 57, I'm going to guess, is the why you gave us 57. So, happy 57th birthday, pal. And thanks for being there every night. Great chatter.
I remember when I was 57.
Yeah.
Delgado's wishing he makes 57.
Yeah, you got a couple more days.
NTBNC.
Easter candy on good Holy Thursday.
Can I say ass milk in the chat?
Yeah, you can say whatever you want.
You can. There's no censors in the chat.
Because ass milk is hilarious.
I keep seeing reports about this kid with the shooting that was a Trump hater.
Yeah,
And that was the
that's what
motive.
I'm seeing as well.
We need to talk about that when we come back on.
Mike VL72. Here is my doll. You're asking for it. See, I wore my Thursday shirt. I wear this shirt on Thursdays because the only shirt I could find that matches.
That matches good.
Unlike Slick, who basically matches anything he gets, he's got clothes for everything.
Color for
I'm pretty basic.
He's got glasses, clothes, and shoes. Everything matches.
Everything
Got
matches.
it. Come on. Drag Blacker in the chat sent us
This is my doll.
$5. He asked, is Maloney from North or South Italy? North Italy has a lot of German ethnics from the Australian Empire days.
That's right.
And she sounds kind of German.
German.
Them, and I'm Sicilian. And
Live from Studio 6B, Real America's Voice on a Thursday night. Welcoming you back to the program. It's flying by so far this first hour.
Sure is.
Vin Buddha's going to have some more stuff in the next hour. We're going to come to KDJ in just a few, but let's do some sports first with Slick Rick. Slick Rick Sports brought to you by Mike Lindell's MyPillow. Go to MyPillow.com. Use our code LFS6B at checkout. Slick, what you got for us now?
Well, you know, I hate to have to report on this transgender nonsense, but it's part of sports, and I got to get these stories in.
yeah.
And now Illinois joins states defying Trump's executive order protecting women's sports from trans athletes. So
they signed it? I mean, they're on board?
they said they're on board. So here we go.
Okay.
Democrat, this is Warner Todd Houston of Breitbart. Democrat-dominated Illinois has become the next left-wing state to defy President Trump's rules banning transgender athletes from... they're worried about the Constitution here, guys. You understand?
Oh, of course.
They want to make sure that we're following the letter of the law like they do with everything else. After being quizzed on the issue for weeks, the Illinois High School Administration, IHSA, which governs schools, sports in the state, has now affirmed that they will follow Illinois state laws passed by the state's radical Democrats, which forces participation of males who identify as females into girls' and women's sports. Consequently, the IHSA has now officially moved to defy President Trump's efforts to protect females from the incursion of transgender athletes, WQRF-TV reported. In March, 40 state lawmakers sent a letter to the IHSA asking for its position on transgender athletes. The sports organization stonewalled the request until Tuesday when they finally replied and stated they would not follow the federal laws but would instead follow the rules the Illinois Attorney General put forward. The Illinois Attorney General and more recently, the Illinois Department of Human Rights have asserted to the IHSA the Illinois Human Rights Act requires that transgender athletes be permitted to participate in events and programs aligning with the gender which they identify. The IHSA said in this letter, the organization added that obeying Trump's common sense ban on trans athletes would interfere with state rules. Compliance with the president's executive order would place the IHSA out of compliance with the Illinois Human Rights Act, the group explained. They're worried about these things. The IHSA board president, Dan Tully, now, listen to Dan Tully, wrapped up his letter, trying to claim Teletubby, claiming his organization is an untenable position and has not taken a stand on which side is correct on transgender athletes, but they're siding with the state rules, clearly puts them in the left-wing Democrat camp on the issue. And, of course, several Republican lawmakers
So, Slick, they're going along with it.
Yeah, they're going along with it.
No, they're going along with having trans athletes, men who think they're women, in women's locker rooms.
Right. Exactly.
They're going along with that.
They want it, the Constitution has to be upheld there, Vin.
90% of the country is against that, and they're going along with it.
I think it's even higher.
I
think it's
yeah.
higher.
I
you know
think
what?
it
It's
might
got to be
like
98%.
Yeah, it's got to be like 98%.
Who the heck would be in favor of this?
Well, what is transgenderism? About 1% of the population? It's probably not even that,
it's not
right?
even
It's a
that.
fraction
It's
of 1%.
It's a fraction of a fraction.
I don't even care if they're trans. All I care about is there's a girl in a locker room who's playing a sport. One, you don't need someone with male genitalia in there. And two, they're physically, we're seeing people get hurt. They're physically stronger. It's dangerous.
Yeah. Look at the poor girl with the volleyball.
If you had a tournament with 12 and under and some 18-year-old played in that and they dominated, you think that would be legal? No.
No. They wouldn't allow it because of the age.
They would have
it's
to
the
allow
same
it.
situation.
Well, that'd be age discrimination, right? So why should it be any different? No, it's absolutely crazy.
It's the same situation.
And again, the tail wagging the dog with all of these things, and enough of this, really. And this is, I think, how they're actually getting themselves out there by all this crazy nonsense. This is how transgenderism is starting to become a bigger and bigger thing in this country in terms of making this awareness, making all this noise. We just got to shut this thing down.
It's progressives placating each other.
When I say a bigger thing, I mean story-wise.
Right.
It's constantly every day I've got at least 3 to 4 stories in the sports feed, and I end up having to read one.
Right.
The rest I leave to the dogs.
And look what it's come to. We're actually not even just the country, the world going, hey, if you don't let that guy in the locker room with those girls, you're a bigot.
Yeah.
Right.
And they fell for it.
When years ago,
upside down.
Very recent history, you'd be arrested. You'd be shackled, dragged out, and embarrassed. You'd probably lose your job, lose everything, everything, because you're a freak that likes to go in and look at girls undress in the locker room.
I'm all for the trans sports league. Yeah. They want to play that way.
They don't want that, Vin. They don't want it. They don't
have your own thing. And what happened to women's rights? I mean,
exactly.
What happened to that? Where are the women here? Where are they in Illinois?
I have the answer. Why are women's rights gone? Who's a big part of the New World Order? That would be Islam. What does Islam hate? Women. They're setting us up for it. And this whole sexual assault thing in Europe, I hate to say it, it's disgusting, but this is yet another form of taking over Europe. Look, it's a sick way of a sick form of dominance, and it's been a part of warfare forever. And Kate, you know who wants to put the M for MAP for a minor attracted person on the LGBT CIA thing? That would be the people that are having sex with children. I happen to know a friend of mine from what they call Palestine, not a country, it's something else, told me that once you leave the big cities, you get out into the smaller places, every little boy learns by his 10th, 12th birthday, stay away from the old guys.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
we heard about that in Afghanistan, that some of the soldiers there got in trouble for taking things into their own, taking matters into their own hands when they saw these guys abusing these kids.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Crazy.
It's
a
sick
the whole
society.
thing's nuts,
So is
right?
that a wrap on sports?
That's a wrap, absolutely.
All right. Slickwork Sports brought to you by Mike Lindell's MyPillow. Go to mypillow.com. Use our code LFS6B at checkout. Kevin, we'll come to you at the top of the hour because we're running a little short here.
Okay.
But this story here, I think, kind of falls in line, Slick, with what you've been talking about. Believe it or not, in the UK, I don't know. Maybe they've stepped away from the amphetamines
a minute
for long
of
enough.
sanity.
Yeah, for a minute of sanity, as the UK Supreme Court says legal definition of woman excludes trans women. In a landmark ruling, the United Kingdom's highest court ruled that the legal definition of woman excludes guys who like to play dress up and think they're women. In case you didn't know what that was, it's called trans. In a case with sweeping consequences for how equality laws are applied, Britain's Supreme Court ruled unanimously that the definition of a woman, which they could figure out, but I guess our Supreme Court justices can't figure out, even the women, that the definition of a woman in equality legislation refers to a biological woman and biological sex, sparking celebrations outside of court among gender-critical campaigners, but warning that it's a worrying development for the transgender people. No, it's not. It just means we're not going to play along with your stupid little mental games. We don't care. Halloween all day, we don't care. Every day of the year can be Halloween for you. We just don't have to agree with it. The case centered on whether trans women with gender recognition certificate, I guess you can get a certificate, I don't know, you get it out of a cereal box, which offers legal recognition of someone's female sex, are protected from discrimination as a woman, blah, blah, blah. Anyhow, seems like the UK Supreme Court, got this one right.
About time. I mean, they're about to go under. I'll also add, this is great. Transgender cop, you can't frisk someone of the opposite sex. That's over too. That's over too. And, we were talking about, Vin, we were talking about earlier, what's making these people crazy? Well, number one, transgender people have a mental illness. All right. It is what it is. You don't have to, you can call me a bigot. I don't care. So what you do is
they will.
They will. You tell them that if someone doesn't recognize your pronouns, then they hate you. And words are violence, and you're being genocided. And that's why we've seen so many, in my opinion, so many mass shooters, so many crazy. And look at this guy. He just burned down a Tesla dealership and the New Mexico GOP. Oh, look, he's wearing his best purple lipstick for his driver's license photo. Right. These people are easy to set off.
Yeah, they're called Trantifa.
Trantifa, yeah, I love
that's
that.
That's the term. That's what they called the guy who killed the guy in Vermont. These are members of a coalition. They call themselves Trantifa. Wow. Again, Halloween every day.
They should call themselves Antifa.
Every day. You can knock on doors, get candy, whatever. Play dress up.
I just don't like special rights. I have nothing against trans people. I understand, whatever's going on, but nobody gets special rights here. You have equal rights.
Right. Yes. No such
simple as that.
And
a protected class.
You have the right to be offended.
Yes.
So that was my
well done. Well said.
Final comment on that.
Great sound.
All right. Great first hour. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, we'll kick things off with Kevin Downey Jr. And we'll do some more with Vin after the break as well. Live from Studio 6B, Real America's Voice. Stay there. Yep, I just did.
Kevin's loading up on the sugar. Look out. Can't wait for his segment.
Put the Skittles away, please.
Now, Kevin, you going on the road tomorrow night? Or are you going to see What's New Pussycat?
Yeah, Tom Jones. Can't wait.
What's New Pussycat?
Tom Jones, man. That guy
he's
is one
amazing.
of the best singers.
Anomaly.
I saw him at an event maybe 20 years ago. He has the best pipes of any singer I've ever. He doesn't need a microphone.
No.
He can deal with a band all on amplifiers and just him singing a cappella.
One of the best concerts I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Thing is, though, Don Rickles at the end comes out in a scooter, and it's over. And it was another comedian. Richard Pryor comes out in a scooter, and it was horrible. I hope Tom Jones isn't in a scooter.
I don't think so.
No, I don't think so either.
No.
Okay.
I think Phil Collins is, though.
Phil Collins
is almost...
He's on. It's not
Is he
sad.
sick?
Oh, very. He's been that way for the last.
Is he on? He's not. Is he that bad? Yeah.
He's that bad.
Wow.
Yeah. When you see him, it's horrifying.
Really?
Yeah.
Drag Blacker with another $5 chat in the super chat. Thank you, Drag Blacker. How is a trans sports league a conservative position when your grandparents would have just put trans people in insane asylums and be done with it? That's a good point. Yeah.
No, you know what? Trans Sports League, great. Go for it. You'll be as popular as the WNBA.
Oh, you forget about it. Yeah. Nobody will go.
Nobody will go to that.
Their mothers won't even show up.
Oh, Patriot Bobby says, when trans sports starts, can you guys do your Friday picks on transgenders?
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Imagine that, the tranny football league.
Brings whole new meaning to the term odds makers. Oh, man.
It's a tragedy for young girls, in sports. We're seeing so many
unfair.
of them. It's a tragedy. My daughter played sports. She was a really good tennis player and softball. And I just would have just had a complete fit and dragged people out by their hair if I saw that going on as a parent.
Right?
And especially if she got, potentially hurt. But if she was deprived of winning something, like, maybe all county, whatever, because of that, I mean, it's a tragedy.
Yeah.
With all due respect to people with, mental challenges and understanding that there's something going on there, I understand that. But you just don't. You don't have a right to go.
Yeah, you don't
and
have
do
the
things.
right to push everybody out of the way so you can be special.
That's exactly right. You just don't have that right.
You don't.
Nope, you don't.
You have rights, just like we do, but you don't have a right to take over a sport.
I feel like we don't have a right to say.
Live from Studio 6B, Real America's Voice on a Thursday night. Welcome to the program, hour number 2. Damon is off tonight. He's working hard at the America First Warehouse, where we will be tomorrow night, debuting a brand new set, brand new stage, a whole new look. So he's making sure he's working out all the bugs, and he'll take care of it. We'll make sure the show goes off without a hitch tomorrow night. In the meantime, of course, Kevin Downey Jr. is joining us, sitting in, helping out. Thank you, sir. We appreciate it very much.
My pleasure, sir. Thank you.
Yes. Slick Rick has got sports. We'll do that in just a little bit. And, of course, Vin Buddha's here. We'll be going to him in just a little bit as well. I did my first, what even is that, in about 5 weeks yesterday, regarding the Blue Origin fight with all the celebrity ladies.
Yeah.
And it seems to be, I don't know if you've been on socials like X. It seems like people are just destroying this whole exercise in celebrity space travel. I don't know if you've seen any of it. People are making songs. Other celebrities are coming out bashing these women. Other women are coming out bashing these women. It's like, what are you actually doing? You're going up for 5 minutes. You're screaming like sissies up there and then floating back down like, oh my goodness, I changed the world. You didn't change anything.
Yeah. What do they call that? The USS D-list? Because I'll be honest, I didn't even know Katy Perry was still alive, but now she's kissing the earth.
Yeah, she's kissing the earth because she went up for 11 minutes and floated around for 3.
Yeah,
big whoop. Do that on a regular plane flight. It's a little turbulent. She'll float all over the place.
And might I just add, ladies? I know it's all the women's lib. Your rocket looked a lot more like something manly than something womanly, if you know what I mean. Wink, wink.
Well, anyhow,
I didn't pay attention to this at all, by the way.
You didn't?
I had no interest in it. I didn't pay attention to it. I don't really care. To me, this was just a dumb, sort of self-indulgent thing to do. Hey, by the way, you got some dough? You want to go up in a rocket? Okay, I'll take some. Go pay someone $100,000, $200,000, $1 million. Go up in a rocket, have a good time, right?
Yeah.
I don't care, but I have no interest in it. It's not like Evel Knievel jumping Caesar's palace.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Okay, that I have an interest in.
Right.
What do you think about this? I think he's going to sell trips to space, and he's going, wow, it's only men that are going to sign up. I think maybe he threw the broads on, threw the ladies on, so women go, oh, yeah, maybe I'll go.
Yeah,
Katy Perry went.
Maybe.
And the funny part, it was billed at this all-women's crew, a crew, like they're doing a mission.
Yeah. Oh, man.
The only mission I saw was a certain stupidity of them taking up space, which is what they did. But I caught this anyhow. So the reason I bring this up, because people have been bashing this like crazy, and it seems to have picked up in the last couple days. I don't know if you guys know who the comic Alex Stein is. Here he is, cut number 3.
Love him.
As he goes to a what do you call it? The meetings that they have in the town hall meetings, and he takes his 3 minutes. Here's about 1:20 of his take on the Blue Origin space flight. Here's Alex Stein, cut number 3. I thought you guys get a kick out of this. Check this out.
Thank you, Mayor. My name is Alex Stein. I am here tonight because we're in Grapevine. You guys are very familiar, obviously, DFW Airport. And I am a commercial airline pilot for Spirit Airlines. And I'm I'm a little frustrated because if you turn on the TV, all I'm seeing is a bunch of bimbos in space.
The moon! You guys, I will have to tell you, look at the moon.
That's right. They're sending Lauren Sanchez and Oprah Winfrey's, I don't even know what, Oprah Winfrey's lesbian
Girlfriend.
lover, I guess, to space.
I love the
and I just think that is absolutely ridiculous. It's a waste of resources. Me flying, I'm in the aerospace industry, and I don't want to try to land my plane and worry about, running into some woman with, silicone breasts or something like that. I mean, listen, are they sending them up to space to try to test the effects of Ozempic on what it does to you in a zero-gravity environment? I don't know, but I know that it looks fake, and I'm not saying the Earth is flat, but I'll tell you this much, that originally we went to the moon. It was done by a bunch of Nazis, a guy by the name of Werner von Braun, who was brought over during a thing called Operation Paperclip. So I don't want to go to space with a bunch of bimbos and Nazis when we got a bunch of problems here in America, especially in Grapevine, that we need solved.
Yeah, so there's just a bit of it.
Wow. It did prove that when you're in space, you can't tell if you had Botox or not. It doesn't affect that whatsoever.
But I just thought it was so funny just watching the reactions because they have to let him talk. It's his 3 minutes.
Yeah.
So I hope that inspires more people out there to go and speak at your local town hall meetings. Take your 3 minutes, and if it's something great, send it to us. Because I'd love to play it and see what you had to say.
And wear your MAGA hat.
Oh, did you see they open the door, then they close it?
Yes, I saw that.
Ah.
And then they had to wait like 2 minutes to open the door again. I guess they were trying to set something up. Again, it's all a publicity stunt. They really didn't go to space. They went really high, where you may be on the edge of space, but you're not really in space.
No.
Nothing really happened to you, and then they came right back down. It lasted all of 10 or 11 minutes. So there you have it. I just thought I'd share that. Get a kick out of that.
Just have a gummy. You'll feel the same way.
Right, exactly.
That's okay.
Hey, let's do some news with Kevin Downey Jr. Kevin Downey Jr., of course, his radio show. You can catch it live on linewsradio.com Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Time. Kevin, what you got for us?
Thank you, sir. Well, Letitia James has officially hit the panic button, and I'm loving what's going on because she ran to be the Attorney General, ran saying, I'll get Trump, even though there was no reason to get Trump. Well, she just hit the panic button. She's holding a fundraiser dinner, and it's only $18,000 a person. If you want to help Tish James, she's got 3 things coming up. Here's my favorite one, and this one's new. I just found out about this. She bought a 5-family dwelling, but she said it was a 4-family dwelling because that changes the insurance, it changes the mortgage that you're going to get, change everything. And she also bought another place said her dad was her husband, little Ilhan Omar me for my sake, but whatever she's into. And of course, she bought one in Virginia where she said, I'm going to live here. And so the news crew went out there. She's not living there. She could actually be in real trouble. I think she'll skate because she's a Marxist and they defend themselves, but she might have to step down from her job.
Yeah, from what I understand. And it's funny, too, because she's basically accused of doing exactly what she accused Donald Trump of doing. Now, you mentioned the reporters going to her dwellings in Virginia. Here it is, cut number 6. Daily Caller sent a couple of reporters over to Tish James's homes, where she said that was her main residence. I don't think they found her. Here's cut 6. Check this out.
Hi there. I'm a reporter with the Daily Caller News Foundation.
Goodbye, you're trespassing.
I'm sorry.
Trespassing. My kids are around
He's
here.
on the side.
I understand. We mean no trouble. We're just curious who the occupants of the home are.
Don't worry about who's occupants. That's none of your business.
Well, there are connections. There are connections to New York Attorney General Letitia James.
That doesn't matter. You're trespassing.
Are you related to Letitia James?
Do you know her?
You're trespassing. Go in the house.
Do you know Letitia James? No? Okay.
You're trespassing.
No comment. Thank you, ma'am.
Don't come up to my house no more.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. You have a good one.
It's gonna be time.
That's one house.
Very cooperative.
Be well.
Very nice people. As you can tell, very welcoming.
Yeah. I got nothing to hide.
You want a cookie?
There's a car parked in the driveway.
Hello there, ma'am.
Comment, you're trespassing.
No comment?
Yeah, you're trespassing.
You know,
who lives
one
here?
just called the other.
Who lives here, ma'am?
No comment.
No comment.
He only knows 3
Okay.
words.
Yeah, exactly. So there you have it.
4 words.
What you
No
were talking
comment.
about
Go
there,
no
Kevin.
comment, and you're trespassing.
Yeah.
The irony is amazing.
Yeah. Anything else you got there, Kev?
I got a ton of stuff here. My computer froze, but I'll be out of that. You know what? I don't need a computer for this one. There's 2 new polls out. And young people aged 18 to 21 have made a big swing to the right.
Thank God.
A big swing to the right by more than enough to throw an election. Right? More than enough to throw an election. Also, Catholicism is on the rise, especially with the young people. Because let's face it, folks, we all know that I think it was Karl Marx who said we got to get rid of religion, and that's a big problem. And they tried to. Well, Christianity, not Islam, of course. And now Catholicism is coming back with young people. They're voting to the right, and they're finding God. They're finding church, and that is huge because there's the things that the communists hate. They hate the nuclear family, and they hate religion. They hate Christianity. 2 things they cannot. If they're not going to win. If we have that going for us, they cannot fully win. We will always be on top. We will have to fight them, and that's coming up now. But yeah, big news on these polls. This is amazing. And the weird part is the 22 to 29-year-olds, they're still pinkos, but their younger brothers, are not. Excuse me. And they say, well, how did this happen? They said 2 things. Number one, these younger kids don't want men in women's sports. That's a big part of it. And COVID really set them off. It hit them during their formative years, and now they're learning and developing more right-leaning views on several key cultural and political issues. And that is the best thing. That's the best news ever.
Yeah.
I'm surprised to hear that because it's made me, of all the things I've been scared about of our society, it's been the young people, how they've been indoctrinated. And so, and the group that you said is still the pinkos. What is that? That's like, what would they be
22 to
considered?
29.
Pinkos, 22 to 29.
22 to 29, they kind of went through that system.
Yeah.
And these younger kids now, maybe COVID kind of shielded them a little bit because they weren't allowed to go to school from that system. But I'm really surprised in a very pleasant way that that's happening because I didn't see it coming. I didn't see Trump even getting their votes like he did.
You know what's surprising, though? I did see it coming simply by going down. Whenever I was driving around and you see kids out on their bikes, when you see kids with like Trump flags on their bikes,
that's when I knew.
I'm like, wow. It caught me by surprise. I'm like, what is going on here?
And you see that up by where you live, up in our area.
Even the boy in my home, he wanted a Trump flag. I'm like, where is this coming from?
Wow.
And I didn't sit there and like hammer the kids at home. That's something I didn't do in terms of politics because it's like you want to keep them. Just be a kid. Just be a kid.
That's true.
Have fun. Go outside.
You got your whole life to wait to be miserable with
Skin
that.
your knees. Hit on girls. Have fun. Do whatever.
Yep.
And you don't want to kind of push your political views on them.
No.
But I think in terms of just watching how things have kind of unfolded, and they're like, well, that doesn't seem to make sense. And telling them, yeah, you're right. It doesn't make sense. It's okay for you to think it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
If your teacher says otherwise, let us know.
That's the problem, though.
Yeah.
I didn't have a political view when I was in grade school. I had a political view till the United States beat the Russians in the 1980 Olympic hockey team. Then I got a political view.
You know when I got a political view?
That's about when I did too. Yeah.
That was my moment. I didn't have the
Cold
My
War.
teachers never talked about it, even in high school.
The Cold War wasn't a thing, right?
We didn't talk about it. They just educated us. This is what happened in World War II.
I remember
That's what happened in Vienna.
my political view showed up when President Carter ordered that failed rescue attempt.
That was embarrassing.
Oh,
for the Iranian
in Iran.
hostages.
Yeah.
And at that point, for some reason, it caught my attention because I love my country, and I was like, this guy's embarrassing us.
That caught my attention too.
And it was something that
it was the same time frame.
Yeah.
As the Olympics.
Well,
Right,
if
it
it
was
caught your
just before.
attention, then we beat the Russians. Then you really kind of that pushed me over.
That was the
into
same window.
watching.
Yeah. So, all right. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, Vin's got some thoughts on some things, and we'll do some sports with Slick Rick. So all we need you to do is hang tight through the break. Live from Studio 6B, Real America's Voice. Stay there. Jumping in the chat.
Jumping Yemeni.
TMZ says something interesting. Hers showed up when they killed JFK.
Oh, okay.
And I think that, that type of thing probably woke up a lot of young people. And we know it did.
Yeah.
We saw what the country went through after that.
KT Frog 2760 in the Rumble chat says, "Watch out, KDJ. Delgado will steal your Reese's." They are correct. I will. If you've got any Reese's peanut butter cups in that cup, I will steal it. I probably already did.
I ate them. They're my favorites.
Mine too. Damn it! Where's my?
Hold on. Chat. Drag Blacker with another super chat. $20, boys. Well, we're going to be paying for pizza tomorrow night. Extra toppings.
Thank you, my friend.
Don't be fooled by young people embracing religion. I've interacted with some of them, and a lot are using it as a political prop. There's no actual spirituality with them. Plus, they hate Israel as much as the left does. So that's Drag Blacker.
Who's that?
In for $20.
Who hates them?
The young people.
I don't know
That's
about
because
that.
they've been told to hate them.
Yeah. You know what? I don't know about that. Like I said again, I'm seeing kids, and I'm surprised.
Well, every statement is general. I mean, there's
17, 18-year-old kids and 20-year-old kids, and they're like, "Oh, what are you guys going to do tonight?" We're actually going to, so-and-so wants to read this thing in the Bible.
Yep. Child of the King just
and then they'll go out to the bar.
Yep. Another super chat, Rickster.
Wow.
Cool.
Child of the King, $47.45 coming in hot. Hello, dear ones. Just had to pop in and say, proof has come again that God's word is true. That's true. He promised that he would turn good of any evil COVID was meant to destroy, but God, and basically prevailed, I'm sure. But Child of the King, very good. Thank you very much. 47.45.
N8315P in the Rumble chat says, KGB, my 29-year-old son is being confirmed into the Catholic Church Saturday.
Oh, nice.
Patriot Dale.
Beautiful.
I know a friend of mine's kid the same thing. Actually converted to Catholicism.
Wow.
At that 27-year-old age range.
Mm-hmm. People, you know what? People come to it at their own time.
Yeah, that's true.
You can't force it. And I think that's probably best because I know people that were brought up. They went to Catholic schools, and their kids were brought up in Catholic schools, and then they stepped away from it.
Yeah.
Eventually, they come back around.
Well, I mean, look at what it's done to countries like Ireland.
All right, sounds like the blues. And
can you do that?
Yeah, I have to. It's part of the shtick. Shut up, Vin. I got reads to do here.
All right. Check, please.
Damon needs me to do the reads. Tax day may have passed, but for millions of Americans, the real trouble is just beginning. If you missed the April 15th deadline or still owe back taxes, the IRS is ramping up enforcement. Every day you wait only makes things worse, with over 5,000 new tax liens filed daily and tools like property seizures, bank levies, and wage garnishments. The IRS is applying pressure at levels we haven't seen in years. Increased administrative scrutiny means collections are moving fast. You don't want to be a part of that. The good news, though, is there's still time for Tax Network USA to help you out. Self-employed or a business owner, even if your books are a mess, they've got it covered. Tax Network USA specializes in cleaning up financial chaos and getting you back on track fast. Even after the deadline, it's not too late to regain control. Your consultation is completely free, and acting now could stop penalties, threatening letters, fines, and surprise levies before they escalate. All you got to do is call 1-800-905-8000 or visit tnusa.com/RAV. You may have missed April 15th, but you haven't run out of options. Let Tax Network USA help before the IRS makes their move. That's 1-800-905 or visit tnusa.com/RAV. So there you have it. If you're one of those and that is something that could help you out, make sure you reach out to them. Did you know, though, that you can still join AMAC today for only $1? That's right, Slick. $1 for 1 year of the membership. I want to encourage you all to visit amac.us Studio 6B and activate this limited time opportunity. Just listen to all you get for that $1. AMAC, the Association of Mature American Citizens, works tirelessly to advocate for the values that matter most to Americans, like small government, strong borders, and election integrity, while protecting your constitutional rights. Becoming an AMAC member gives you access to all of that, of course, and to free advice on Social Security and Medicare, ensuring that you get the help you need when you need it most. As a member, you stay informed with trusted news on the AMAC's Newswire, the Better for America podcast, and your subscription to the award-winning AMAC magazine. Oh my goodness, there's so much there for $1. Does it end? No, because you also get you get to enjoy exclusive money-saving discounts on travel, hotels, insurance, restaurants, and so much more. But it's for a limited time, so join AMAC and receive all these benefits for just $1 for your first year. Normally $16. You can take advantage of all these benefits and help save America for that $1. Join today. Visit amac.us/Studio6B or call 1-888-262-2006. That's amac.us/Studio6B or call 888-262-2006. Join AMAC now and save America with AMAC. So
you get more bang for your buck than a 4th of July picnic.
Exactly. So
it's a great service, too. I've been on it many times. It's better than AARP, that's for sure.
And you get, like Slick said, you got a big bang for your buck for just that $1 for the first year. So take advantage of it and go to AMAC. Let's do some sports right now with Slick Rick. Slick, what do you got for us?
Programming note. I think Vinnie Mac should read the AMAC reads for us. It's right up his alley. It's perfect.
I'm not only president, I'm also a client.
I'm right with you, Vin.
Brought to you by Mike Lindell's MyPillow.com. Go to MyPillow.com. Use our code at checkout. Slick, what do you got?
Here's some story, Rick, right up your alley here. Ex-MLS star Aaron Bupenza dies after fall from 11th floor balcony.
Really?
Simon Kent of Breitbart. Former MLS, that's Major League Soccer star Aaron Bupenza, a part of SC Cincinnati's win in the Supporters' Shield in 2023, died Wednesday after reportedly falling from the 11th floor balcony of a building in China. He was 28 years old. The Gabon-born international had joined Chinese club Zhejiang FC, based in the city of Hangzhou, from Romanian outfit Rapid Bucharest in January. TMZ Sports details local police have launched an investigation in Bupenza's death, reportedly treating it as suspicious, you think? The Gabonese forward began his soccer career in 2015 and played for numerous clubs, including FC Cincinnati, which he helped win the Eastern Conference and the Supporters' Shield given to the team that with the best regular season record, the outlet notes. FC Cincinnati moved quickly to honor Bupenza and his contributions. Of course, there's all kinds of tributes on social. For its part, Gabon's Football Federation, Fegafoot, announced the news of his death on social media, the BBC reports. Bupenza is remembered as a great striker who made his mark during the AFCON in Cameroon. The statement said Fegafoot and the Gabonese football family offer their sincere condolences to his family. Zhejiang FC said in a statement on Instagram that Bupenza passed away at his residence and offered condolences to his family.
Dang.
So, Rick, that sounds awfully familiar.
It does, because usually when you fall out of a window, it happens in Russia, and it's because you said something wrong about President Putin. Speaking of falling out of windows, Slick, I don't know if you saw this. I don't mean to interrupt your sports report here, but
by all means.
Cut number 13, a Russian woman survives a 6th-floor drop out of a building.
Wow.
Check this out. This is cut number 13, and it happened in Russia. Who knows? Maybe she did say something not so nice about President Putin, but obviously she wasn't high enough to kill her. Here's cut number 13. Check this out.
Oh, wow.
Luckily, she landed on top of that car. Not for the car, but for her. As you can see, she's still alive.
Oh, my gosh.
Was it a Tesla?
Wow.
Maybe she jumped on it.
Yeah, so it turns out the story is she was cleaning her window. And she was leaning out trying to, hey, because I've done this too, where you're like, you know what, I can get that spot. And you kind of lean out and you start doing stupid stuff that you shouldn't be doing. Next thing you know, boom, she's out the window. Luckily, again, she lands on that
You
car.
could have warned the audience, Rick, on that one. Wow.
Was that a little?
How did she get all the way to the street?
Well, again, she fell out the window.
But that, if you look at a building from the base of the building to the car, that's got to be a good 7-8 feet.
Oh, maybe she was really trying to reach the. Maybe she was trying to reach the window on the other building.
That's it.
She's like, I can get that spot.
It's the mystery of life.
Yeah.
Next time you got to be careful when you say I have to bounce. But man, I tell you,
I've seen Die Hard. Die Hard, when she jumps out of the window, she lands through the car. I've seen that.
All right, so one more sports story, just shifting gears, Rick.
Sorry.
No worries. WWE superstar Roman Reigns shows support for Trump ahead of WrestleMania. Reigns, a headliner this weekend, said the choice was very clear. This is Ryan Morick of Fox News reporting. Roman Reigns and Donald Trump have one surprising characteristic in common. They are both WWE legends. Reigns, of course, is a former world champ in the business and will be headlining WrestleMania this weekend. Trump, he's actually a WWE Hall of Famer, the president is. Yes, before becoming president, Trump actually hosted WrestleMania 4 and 5, and he went against Vince McMahon in the Battle of Billionaires.
I remember that.
You're fired. Unbelievable. That bout resulted in Trump assisting in shaving McMahon's head bald. 18 years later, Reigns will battle CM Punk and Seth Rollins in a triple threat match one night on the event this Saturday in Las Vegas. And ahead of that bout, Reigns, whose real name is Joe Anoa'i, said he supports Trump despite being a registered Democrat in the state of Florida. Well, that's interesting. I support our president. Trump is one of those guys where he's got a vast history and a huge background. Reigns, who said the choice for the 2024 election was very clear, told Vanity Fair he's been in entertainment, he's been in big business politics. At this point, I'm supporting a bright future for our country, positive and competent leadership for us to be where we're supposed to be a world leader and carry that respect and do what a world power like us should be doing. Reigns did criticize Trump for picking battles with political rivals, saying that Trump needs that adversary. He needs that opposition to bounce off of. He needs that competitive motivation or something, he added. This Saturday will mark the 9th time a record that Reigns will headline the WWE staple. He actually headlined both nights of the event last year in Philly, losing the championship after holding the belt for 1,000 consecutive days. And that's a wrap in sports.
All right.
Back to you.
Very good. Sports brought to you by Mike Lindell's MyPillow. Don't forget, anyone who makes a purchase this week with MyPillow.com or EternalLifeCoin.com and uses the code LFS6B at checkout and sends their confirmation email to LFS6B@yahoo.com, you will receive the T-shirt of your choice. So you get an extra prize while you save cash. Not a bad deal. That's what we do here. Right, Vin?
We give good deals. That's
we
what
give
I'm
good
saying.
deals.
Good deals.
Exactly. We'll come to Vin Vuda. He's got some thoughts on some things coming up next, as well as Kevin Downey Jr. We just need you guys to hang with us through the break. Live from Studio 6B. Stay down. Chat, live in the chat. $1.
I got a shout out to Super Guido Dave Syverson.
Super Guido.
Who said, have these Guidos thrown any shouts out or what? So there you go. There you go. I'm a jabroni, not a Guido. Thank you very much.
Hey, Pat Murray. I'm watching on Facebook. Thanks for the shout out.
Erin is the bomb diggity.
Oh,
yeah, she is.
Oh,
Erin, our very own Erin. In the control room.
You know what? Turn off his microphone.
I didn't connect the two. I'm sorry.
Mary Lynn Schwab is asking where Damon is. All right, Mary Lynn, I thought you tuned in earlier. We told you, Damon's at the warehouse getting things going for tomorrow night.
He's making the pizza for tomorrow.
Oh, no, he'll wait till Cole Delgado 5 minutes too.
I'm glad he's working. You know, we're going to show up there. This thing's going to be put together.
CJ Moore in the chat said, that fall hurt me. The YouTube chat.
I felt
CJ Moore with a good one from downtown. How about those Islanders, Vin? They're getting pounded in Columbus 6-1.
Although the Matt Martin moment, did you see the tape?
Yeah. It was the longest 15 seconds in radio history. And what really was that silence.
It was nice, man. They gave him a nice cheer. The team,
it was nice.
Washington came out, shook his hand.
Hey, he played almost 1,000 games. I mean, the guy, that was amazing.
I was always a big fan of his. He was the heart and soul of that team for a long time.
He was, yeah.
So really, I got to ask the chat, because Slick has mentioned it now a few times. Was that really kind of off-putting, the woman landing on the car? Really?
That was rough. All of a sudden, it's like boom, like a sack of flour fell
Oh,
from
Rick's
the
got a lot of good videos of that. He's got someone throwing up at some point. I think he has a video of that.
I had no idea. I thought it would be interesting.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, because she lived. If she didn't live, I wouldn't play it, of course. No, I thought it would be interesting.
Poor Damon.
Someone's never
Poor
seen
Aaron
a
and Damon are
snuff
going to get a lot of
film.
emails tonight
Aaron.
now, right? Damon's like, take one night off, and Rick has a
What?
roofie. I mean, come on.
I don't even know what you're talking about. But she lived.
She did.
Why do you focus on the negative? See, I'm a glass half full kind of guy.
That was quite the thump.
It was.
That's a glass half break type of thing. That was not good.
Good.
Hey, you know what? You're the one that put that thing on together for me. Oh, you didn't friend it? Oh.
Yeah, I just didn't care.
All right, live from Studio 6B, Real America's Voice on a Thursday night. If you're just joining or you joined in the last couple segments and you're wondering to yourself, where the hell's where's Sasquatch? Damon, he is working hard at the America First warehouse, getting ready for tomorrow night. See, and again, we've talked about this in the first hour. There's a brand new stage. There's a brand new layout. So anything you saw in the last 2 or 3 weeks is going to be completely different this week. And this is moving forward because we're trying to incorporate the show so when people do come to see it starting May 2nd, it'll be a better experience for the people in the audience where they can kind of, it'll give you a better feel, I think, sitting in the round kind of thing. It almost like being at a Tom Jones concert.
Yeah, well, I think Ozempic's going to be our sponsor because we're going to be in the round, so it'll be nice.
So it'll be a better experience, I think, for the studio audience, which I think will be important, and of course, moving forward, once we start introducing music and all the other things we want to do, we think it's gonna look great. So he's making sure he's getting it ready for tomorrow night because again, that whole stage that you saw the last 3-4 weeks has now been moved, and there's a lot of moving parts that go along with it. So he's taking care of that. In the meantime, we're holding down the show. Kevin Downey Jr. is here, of course. He's got some more news in just a little bit. Slick Rick has got sports. But let's go to Vin Buddha. Vin Buddha segment brought to you by the Eternal Life Coin, a timeless symbol of faith, legacy, and soul's infinite journey. You can go to theeternallifecoin.com. That's eternallifecoin.com. Check it out for yourself. And remember, keep in mind, if you do make a purchase this week on Eternal Life Coin, or My Pillow for that matter, use our code LFS6B at checkout and send your confirmation email to lfs6b@yahoo.com and let them know what kind of free T-shirt you would like, and they'll take care of it. So there you have it. Vin, what's been bugging you?
Oh, well.
Besides me.
No comment. I got a couple of things that have been bugging me, but, we talked about everyone's inflection point into politics, and I think they touch on the two things that have been bugging me. I mentioned that for me personally, it was the 1980 Olympic hockey team having gone through the whole thing with Carter. I kind of woke up, and then Ronald Reagan. Ronald Reagan's presidency made me aware. And in college, I was in college then, my peers in college were also aware. After going through our teen years, learning to drive and so on and not be able to get gas and stuff that Carter did that was so lame, he was a horrible president, then Reagan comes in. That was my first awakening. My second awakening was when Obama hit the scene. And I remember liking this guy and saying, whoa, he's a charming guy. Man, wow, can he talk? And then I read one of his speeches, and I realized, what the heck is he talking about? I didn't know he was saying that. That was my second wake-up call for politics. I mentioned this because of what's going on with Harvard. As a young person, you're going to have an inflection point, and people have posted on the chat here about their various inflection points, from the JFK being murdered and other points that they found that time where they felt passionate about the country or politics. You see what's happening at Harvard. 30% of their students, by the way, are foreign students. They're coming here bringing their baggage. They're bringing their ideas and things that are not working in their country, and they certainly don't work here. And we have generations of young people grossly affected. Harvard's just one of the shiny objects. We've seen this throughout college campuses for decades now of the complete left leaning. And I'm happy to hear what Kevin had to say, which is this next group of young people are awake. And it's just great to see our president not backing off, and something that's very easy for him to back off on with Harvard. So he's cut their federal funding, and he's going to cut their tax exempt status, which, by the way, that's the real thing that's going to hurt. You're going to see a pile-on of lawsuits. But something has to happen. What happened with Columbia, what happened with Harvard, what happened with a few other schools with this anti-Semitic stuff, that's just one thing. It's going to be something else. And it's going to indoctrinate young people just to have the wrong view of the world. That's very dangerous. So I'm really happy our president has stepped up. My next side of it is my Obama moment. My Obama moment happened because I read what this guy actually said, and I thought, this is crazy. And I'm seeing this with Bernie and AOC now. And Bernie and AOC are running around, they're drawing big crowds. And I mentioned this last time I was on the air. One of my biggest fears is the left's politicians and people they put in place to possibly win. We have to hope that they actually have some good people that are more moderate, that understand the world in the way that is sensible and through common sense. Because if they do not make that step, and it's looking like Bernie and AOC got some serious momentum here, which is very, very sad, and it's sick if you think about it. Now, we, of course, don't want them to win, but what if the left wins another election? Who do we really want to see them bring to office? We want to have them bring someone who's got common sense, someone that's not going to destroy the country like Joe Biden just did, our Jimmy Carter, which is Joe Biden for 4 years. So I say this with really two views. One is young people being affected in college by these foreigners that are coming onto our campuses and bringing their radical views. And we saw that with the anti-Semitic things. And two, people, maybe mid-age who have been voting for years, read what these people are saying. They've never said anything positive about a victim of a crime, a victim of an illegal who raped a girl, murdered somebody, or did something really sick. They've never spoken out against these people. What do? They love the criminals. They're fighting for the criminals. Really bad people. You're deporting MS-13. Do you know what MS-13? We're on Long Island. We had a big MS-13 population here.
Trump flushed a lot of it out.
Trump cleaned them out. Yeah. Prior to cleaning them out, they were taking hatchets. They were taking very, very knives and wood chippers,
machetes.
Yeah, machetes.
And ripping people apart. These are vicious, horrible people. But you don't see either of these top flight politicians now, supposedly for the left, talking about that. They've not said anything positive about our victims. This Maryland senator flies to El Salvador to try and get an illegal back here. Yet a woman's daughter was killed by an illegal, and he doesn't even make a phone call. Doesn't say anything. This is one of his constituents. And you saw the press conference where she talked. Mm-hmm. It was heartbreaking hearing her talk, but I'm sitting there and thinking, I am in a surreal world where politicians now are making a choice, and they're choosing to go where the bad guy is and not comfort the person who's just suffered a huge loss by a bad guy.
Right.
So this is an inflection point. Trump is doing what he's doing. Many of us woke up and we voted for Trump. Many of folks out there didn't. There has to be a wake-up call. I had mine when I was in college with the 1980 Olympic hockey team. Man, it was a sporting event, but I became proud, and then I voted for Reagan. And then I read what Obama said, and I was like, not for me, not for this country. And that's what's happening right now. So my point is, we need to start paying attention, and it's not just us as MAGA supporters. It's in our best interest to help and educate people who really don't understand this, because God forbid AOC or Bernie or any of these clowns get in. We thought Biden was bad, and Biden was probably the worst president. I didn't think anybody can do worse than Carter.
And then all of a sudden,
he definitely topped
Joe
him.
Biden.
He topped him.
Joe Biden topped everything, mostly because he was not there.
Right.
All these progressives were doing stuff for him. So it's in our best interest to help the left understand and have these inflection points, because we're in deep if the next presidency becomes one of these two clowns.
Yeah.
So that's what's been on my mind.
All right. Well, thanks, Vin. And yeah, it does give you pause, but you also have to understand when you're seeing the people that show up, a lot of them, they get paid. From what I understand, they do they check cell phones and see who's showing up at these things, and it seems like it's all the same people. Clusters of the same people. That's amazing how that happens. Right?
And that's the deep fake, though. The media makes it seem like these are real people, and then the real people think, oh, yeah.
Right.
Not meaning the affected progressive left, not the real people, right?
Exactly.
But they think it's real.
Right. And you talk about the illegal immigration issue and Patty Morin, the mother of Rachel Morin. Here's a clip, just a quick minute clip of her speaking yesterday. Here's cut number 4A, since you brought it up. We didn't get a chance to play any of it yesterday, but here it is, 4A. Check this out.
Why are we not protecting the American citizens?
Yeah, simple question.
It's just common sense. Why are we not protecting our children? And to have a senator from Maryland who didn't even acknowledge or barely acknowledged my daughter and the brutal death that she endured, leaving her 5 children without a mother and now a grandbaby without a grandmother, so that he can use my taxpayer money to fly to El Salvador to bring back someone that's not even an American citizen. Why does that person have more right than I do, or my daughter, or my grandchildren? I don't understand this. Thank you.
That's okay, because about 99% of the American people don't understand this either. And if they want to go die on this hill, please keep climbing. Keep climbing, because we love seeing you destroy yourselves.
Yeah.
Right?
I think this is going to hurt the Democratic brand for a while. Breaking news from our friend Put on a Suit in the Twitter chat. that animal is right now speaking with Maryland Senator Von Hollen.
Really? How'd that happen?
Hang out with him. Yep, breaking news. Thanks again to Put on a Suit in the chat there. And I will also say this. People don't realize that for the Marxists, Biden did a great job. He did what they sent him there to do. And this guy going down to get that animal, he's doing the right thing. Remember, they need violence. They need criminals. That's why they said in 2019, we're going to let them all out. That's why they said, oh, you know what, cashless bail, got to keep them out. They want the crime. They want the chaos. It's essential to their plan. And I feel horrible for that woman. But once she understands that that is their plan, now she'll know why. Now you know why you feel you have no rights. Because there are people who want this. They want more of this. All right? As a former leftoid, and I was not that big a leftoid. I was a New York City liberal, not really a leftist. I will tell you this. These women who get raped or killed, they're seen as annoyances because they go against the narrative that these people need to believe in. And I never thought that way. It's another reason I'm not a liberal anymore. But they first of all, they're going to mock that woman right there, and they're happy to see her daughter go, and they don't care about the kids, and they don't care that most of the women killed will be Latinas or Hispanics. They don't care. They'll take it. That's why Hamas buries their missiles in underneath kindergartens and whatnot. They will take the loss. All they have to do is win.
Yeah.
That makes sense. It does
well
make
said.
sense in a sick way, honestly.
And what's amazing, too, is that it's not even about getting this Garcia guy back, I don't think. I think at this point, it's about rousting up people, getting them to emotionally react and march. And like you said, think that violence is okay. You know what? I need to strike out because they deported this Maryland man who's not a Maryland man. He's a El Salvadorian citizen who was deported because he was illegal. They still can't clear that first hurdle, by the way. No. The first hurdle is the word illegal, which means moving forward, everything is null and void because it's illegal to begin with.
They don't even recognize that.
Yeah. All right. We've got one more segment. We'll go back to Kevin Downey Jr. one more time. Slick Rick Sports one more time. And, of course, we'll see you guys in the chat live from Studio 6B on a Thursday night. Stay there. It might rattle some. It might rattle some breakfast.
Yeah, we might have went viral, and not in a good way.
My man Gerald Hawkins
might have
is
been
out
more like
there.
a virus.
Hey, Gerald, I saw your post about Israel. I don't know if you guys heard that Trump nixed the Israelis to go in and take out the
we
nuclear
talked about it last night.
things. But one of the things that Gerald brought up was how close they are to nuclear weapons now. Like we're negotiating with them, and it's like they're trying to buy a few more weeks here. You know, what's really going on here? And he quoted Nostradamus as basically saying this is what he's predicted. You know, the Israelis getting the nuclear weapon, someone from the east, and you know, launching those things. But I would trust Trump's judgment there, because personally, I want to see that happen. I don't think we can risk negotiations and hope that they didn't hide one of their bombs somewhere,
right?
Or 5 of them in a suitcase,
dirty
around
bombs.
New York City, or
we can't trust it. We can't trust it. And so when I heard Trump put a pause on it, okay, let's give peace a chance, right? We all kind of want to see something like that, but man, these people are evil. They're just evil.
Yeah,
they are.
How do you give them a window?
They've been trying for roughly 1,000 years to kill off all the Jews and everyone in the
Here's
West.
that picture of Holland meeting with the terror scumbag gangbanger.
Yep.
I can say that, right? Because we're in the chat.
Yeah, I can say that.
I think everyone want in the chat.
All right.
Within reason.
We're in the chat. Yeah, within reason. Now, we don't need more women flying into cars or anything.
Yeah.
You know what?
Well, I don't want Aaron.
I thought that was an
for Aaron's
interesting
sake,
clip.
for Aaron's mental stability.
That was no meaning. That was a news drop, all right. Wow. Breaking news.
I'm just saying.
Aaron needed the defibrillator back there after those thing hit. What happened?
What did I say?
You didn't say anything.
What did I do?
You didn't do it.
I don't know. Exactly. I didn't fall out the window.
No, it wasn't you. As far as we know. Yeah, well, you played it.
Well,
it's true. You sent it in as a clip, and
I didn't push the button.
Well, she didn't. That's true, Aaron.
I'm just saying. Lorraine Donato. Oh,
Lorraine
Rob,
Donato.
Loved, not far from Carroll Gardens. You know, I almost moved to Carroll Gardens years ago. Yeah.
Where's Carroll Gardens again?
It's in Brooklyn.
Oh yeah.
I almost moved there. I went and looked at a place there.
In Brooklyn. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
How you doing?
It was a nice walk.
1 bedroom.
Live from Studio 6B, Real America's Voice on a Thursday night. Oh, look at this. From Les Durham, a $5 super chat in the YouTube chat. Just want to say y'all do a great job. Rick Delgado and Vinnie Mac and KDJ and Slick Rick and Aaron and Fran. Great job. $5 super chat. Thank you, Les Durham. It literally popped up on my screen as I was about to say something else. You know, I played that clip earlier of that woman. I think she was 80.
Oh, was she really?
Even better.
Who fell out the 6th floor window.
And she survived, my man.
And she
God
survived.
bless.
She landed on a car.
God
She's
bless
alive.
her. God bless.
All right.
But again, if it was tragic, I wouldn't have played it.
Right.
I don't see why everybody's so up in arms.
Okay.
Okay.
No problem, Rick.
There'll be a therapist here
Aaron?
in about an hour.
Yep.
Aaron, forgive me. I hope you'll be able to sleep. Let's move on.
Alleged MS-13 gang member seen sipping margaritas with Democratic senator. What is going on here?
I believe we have that picture, right, Aaron?
Oh, my God.
How does this happen?
They'll take a victory lap over this.
Check this out. Here they are. Sitting together. Oh, he's holding his hand. Oh, they're having a man moment. Is there something that Mr. Van Hollen wants to tell us that maybe we don't know about this relationship?
Where's the martinis?
I don't know.
I don't see a martini.
So there he is. He's comforting, consoling the wife-beating thug gang member.
Him. Huh? Touching him.
They look like they're in a Panera Bread, not a bar.
You know what?
That's sick.
I'll have a tortellini, please.
I did a little research. Everyone knows Rachel Morin. There's another, it's a horrible case, Kayla Hamilton, 20, autistic, raped and murdered by an MS-13 animal, also from El Salvador. I searched her name and that senator's name. I couldn't find any point where he mentioned her at all.
Yeah. Not surprising. Not surprising. Do you want to see another senator who came out to have something to say about this whole thing? We're talking about the D out of Rhode Island, I believe, Senator Whitehouse, who wants to fine the U.S. until the wife-beating, illegal immigrant gangbanger MS-13 member terrorist is returned to this country. This is Senator Whitehouse, cut number 4. Listen to this and tell me this guy isn't a bigger scumbag than some of the other, like Van Hollen's we've seen out there. Cut 4.
The judge says this was outrageous. What you've done violated an existing court order. It lied to me. You've dissembled to the court. You violated your oaths as lawyers, and you put this person in terribly grave peril. So I'm going to put the government under a civil contempt sanction of $1 million a day.
He's doing it
until he comes back.
It's like double secret probation.
There you go. Add up the millions. Oh, and by the way, I'll consider awarding some of that to the victim if this isn't solved.
Yeah. So he wants to give the victim. He considers the MS-13 illegal immigrant gangbanger wife beater the victim in all this, and he wants to give him millions of dollars. That is your Democratic Party, everybody. Wow. Kevin Downey Jr., you got time for one more stuff for us?
Well, oh, yeah, definitely. I got a lot of stuff. So Tulsi Gabbard, man, every day is great. Every day is great. Tulsi Gabbard is now, did you hear about this thing she's canceling out? Well, not canceling out. She's declassifying it, and then we can all read it. It's the Joe Biden How to Crack Down on Patriots Handbook. It's all about how people like me, like us, and like you are domestic extremists or stuff like that. The whole playbook that they used to find out who we are. And remember the FBI said your grandma's Betsy Ross flag was a sign of domestic violent extremism, and my Ashley Babbitt shirt and your Gadsden flag. All of that is coming out. She's declassifying it and releasing it so we can see the book they used. The book they used to classify us as domestic extremists, and they use that to censor us, to spy on us. We don't know yet. It's all coming out, and it's hopefully should be done next week. She's making, and yesterday, this is right on the heels of Marco Rubio closing up shop over at the censorship. I don't know what they were calling it. They had a couple different names.
The Department of Brainwashing.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. So that's gone. But this thing that they're going to leave, you watch. It's going to be their playbook. It's going to be, and it's all about. They say it's about domestic terrorism. It's about patriots. It's coming out. You're going to be on the list too, man. You watch this show. They've got you.
It's their Mein Kampf, I believe.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Anything else before we throw it over to Slick?
Yeah, look at this. Vin, you were talking about Bernie and AOC going on their Fight Oligarchy tour.
Yeah. Big word, too.
Oh, that would be something.
Big word, oligarchy.
I saw their banners they have, right? Yeah, it's unbelievable.
So Bernie's already spent $221,000 on private jets. $63,000 on commercial jets when he couldn't get a private one, but he had to scum it. He spent $41,000 on lodging and another $248,000 on event production. So we're looking at over $500,000 spent by communist Bernie Sanders to fight oligarchy. Come on, he owns 3 homes, man. That's what I hate about these people. Oh, we're here for the people. I need another mention. No, AOC flew first class to go and join them. It's such a joke.
It's a scam. Yeah. It's a total. Who's paying for it? Is it just donors are paying for this? I guess it is.
I'm sure.
I hope
taxpayers.
I mean, if it's the taxpayers, that's a Doge issue, big time.
Exactly.
Bernie's been talking oligarchy for like 20 years.
Right.
Like, he's got no other narrative than this.
That's the only thing he talks about. Exactly. Larry, hey, let's do one more sports report with Slick Rick. Slick Rick Sports brought to you by Mike Lindell's MyPillow. Go to MyPillow.com. Use our code at checkout. Slick, what do you got for us?
All right, well, a little golf today. Men's PGA Tour. We got the RBC Heritage, which took place in the Harbortown Golf Links of Hilton Head Island, South Carolina. Beautiful place. $20 million purse. And Justin Thomas led the first round with a 10 under. Heck of a day. Russell Henley shot a 7 under, as did the great Scotty Scheffler. They're both in second place, so we'll keep track. I'll update you tomorrow night on that. Major League Baseball, yes, the Yankees did come back. I called it. They beat the Rays. Well, they didn't beat them yet. They're up 6-3 in the bottom of the ninth with one out.
Good to hear.
Rays are just about finished there. Rangers over the Angels 4-3, top 7. Finals from earlier tonight. Diamondbacks over the Marlins 6-4. Pirates blanked the Nationals 1-0. Mariners over the Reds 11-7. Athletics blanked the White Sox 8-0. Phillies over the Giants 6-4. Orioles down the Gardens 6-2. Tigers 6-1 over the Royals, and the Mets won. They beat the Cardinals in Citi Field 4-1. NHL action tonight. Get you some scores there. Flames and Kings, no score right now in the first period. We got the Sabres over the Flyers 4-3 with 9 to go in the third. 4 to go in the third. Red Wings continue to lead the Maple Leafs 3-2. Hurricanes and Senators in a goaltenders battle 5-5 with 9 to go there in the third. And the Rangers go out on a good note. They beat the Lightning 3-0.
Nobody cares.
With 6 to go there in the third. It was pretty much over. And the Penguins 3-2
What,
over
they didn't make the
Caps.
playoffs?
12 minutes. No, they didn't. And the Islanders went out in great fashion. They only scored 1 goal, gave up 5, and lost. Well, they're losing 5-1 with 4 to go there in the third. So actually, check that. The Blue Jackets have now down the Islanders 6-1. They had 1 goal insult to injury. And I got a story about Aaron Rodgers complaining about his interview with Aaron Glenn and the Jets, and I think that saga's pretty much over. You know, he was on earlier today on Sean McAfee complaining about he flew all across country to go and meet with Aaron Glenn to see about his future with the Jets, and Glenn ended up like blowing him off during the meeting, went and got the GM, came in, told him, we're going to go in a different direction forward, and that was it. So you're a little ticked off about that, but not a lot of drama. But Rick, I'll throw it back to you for the last minute and a half there.
All right. Well, thank you, Slick. And again, Slick Rick Sports brought to you by Mike Lindell's MyPillow. Go to MyPillow.com. Use our code LFS6B at checkout. And don't forget, anybody who makes a purchase this week on MyPillow.com or EternalLifeCoin.com and uses our code LFS6B at checkout, you get an extra prize. Just send your confirmation email to LFS6B at yahoo.com, and you'll receive the T-shirt of your choice. Make sure you specify the size and the shirt exactly, and the color, and all that stuff that you want, because it's your shirt and it's going to be free, just for you. All right, I think we've done a great show. Kevin Downey Jr., thank you so much. Enjoy your Tom Jones concert tomorrow night.
I will. I've got a picture of a woman here. I got a picture of a woman here who jumped off the Empire State Building and lived. She landed on a car, if you want to see it. You sicko.
All right, cool. We'll
He's
play it
obsessed with those pictures.
We'll play it in the third hour. Thank you, everybody, for watching.
She landed in Central
As
Park.
always, we salute our military, active and retired, first responders across the board, EMTs, firefighters, police, everybody working the front lines, the ICE agents, Border Patrol, you name it, everybody trying our best to keep us safe. We appreciate it. And, of course, everybody on the show, Slick, Kevin, and Vin, as well as Damon, working hard at America First Warehouse. We'll see you there tomorrow night. Fran and Aaron in the booth. And, of course, little me right here saying goodbye. We'll see you tomorrow. Peace.